Welcome back to Digi Bros. This is one of the fucking most hella segments in the game. We're gonna get prog as fuck. We're gonna fuck shit up. Oh my goodness. I am on a fucking
are we getting
board.
prog because the band Hella is...
Yes.
They're not really a prog band,
I know.
though. They're math...
Look, man.
Mathcore band.
Are you fucking ready for this shit? Yes!
Yeah! Going hog wild!
Fuck shit up. I totally missed that tower. It doesn't matter. Let's break through the dream.
Hog wild!
Oh!
Victor, the brothers and sisters that you're seeing in the dream are mere reflections of your own inner selves.
I want to go back and kill that tower, though.
People that we like and love are reflections of our... whatever the fuck he says. Positive energy on spaceship Earth. Yeah. Alright, Victor, talk about something. I'm now just quoting the spoken word.
You have nothing to talk about. You don't have anything else? I did my whole rant. I did my whole spiel. I talked more than I have in many episodes.
That's true. I don't know, the most thing I had planned was that whole
oh shit, what's back here?
That whole Devu speech.
Black.
Unless you want to hear me talk about Nanoha more.
No.
I could go on about it. I know you don't care.
Yeah.
And that like.
I mean, you're gonna make a bunch of videos anyway, so what's the point?
But I can say more that won't be in the videos. The videos are very cut to the point, like because I had time restriction on them. You know about my channel being on strike right now, right?
No.
I got a strike for.
Yay.
But like before Otacon.
Getting fucked by the man again.
Because someone flagged my video called Food, Sex, and Life in Kofuku Graffiti, which had no inappropriate content in it, but since it had sex in the title, I guess YouTube thought, oh, clearly...
Oh, fuck this guy.
Clearly, this is a violation.
We don't acknowledge that sex is a thing around here. You could not even meant it in that context. It could have been sex as in like gender.
Who the fuck knows, dude?
Fuck them.
Someone flagged it and YouTube decided it should go down and I should get a fucking strike for a video about girls eating food.
Yep.
A fucking joke video about girls eating food.
Yep.
That's something I maybe I've mentioned this before, but there are like there's a sort of mini series of analysis on my channel that I consider to be joke analysis, where it's not that the points I'm making aren't valid, it's that I'm clearly making the biggest stretch possible.
Yeah.
And the two main ones were the Food, Sex, and Life in Kofuku Graffiti video and the No Kome and Nihilism video. Both of those were like basically... where I was thinking about the show, and it got me thinking on, like, a huge philosophical tangent that has nothing to do with the show, and so I made a video about it, where I, like, really tenuously tie the show into this huge philosophical tangent. And like, those videos are, like, to me, like, they're smartly written and stuff, and I could see you thinking deeply about them, but to me, they're hilarious. Like, that's why I made them, is because they're fucking hilarious. Because I'm, like... obviously saying all this ridiculously deep shit about like the dumbest show ever, you know, and like that's what makes those videos fun to me. And I have no idea if that comes through at all. I have no idea if people appreciated that I was doing it as like an ironic, like a joke analysis. I mean, my points were valid, just yeah. I think there might be a third one. Those two definitely were like intended to be funny, but I don't know if there's any others like that. You guys let me know if there's any videos I made that you thought were hilarious because of how deep I was going on something that has no business being gone deep on like that.
Of course.
But yeah, I got a strike, and so I can only upload videos that are 15 minutes long. So each of the 3 parts of the Nanoha video are structured like perfectly to be 15 minutes, and I like have a psychic understanding of how long that is in dialogue, and I can read it perfectly.
Did I ever tell you that it is believed, I believe it's suspect, that that golden scully dude is Link from Ocarina of Time?
Everyone knows that.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just bringing it up.
You not only did you bring it up the first
Did
time
I?
you saw it.
I don't fucking remember. That was like hella ago.
Stop saying hella.
Why don't you go fuck yourself, man?
At least use it right. You've been using it in weird, disjointed context,
That's-
like someone who doesn't know how to swear.
No, that's. I always use hella out of context.
I know, it's annoying.
Well, you can go fuck yourself, okay? Whatever. Fine.
It's the kind of thing you should do with Hope, not with me.
Fine. You're right. This is where I get these habits of like weird anti-jokes.
You and Joke could, or you and Hope.
You and Joe.
You and Hope can sit around and just say the word hella back and forth for 10 minutes and laugh about it.
Conrad, we most of the time we just sit and look at each other and try and just laugh and just try not to laugh
I've seen you and
and
her
just stare at each other.
I've seen you and her go, huh, well, oh, right, 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 right.
Doesn't matter what we're saying. What we actually communicate is completely irrelevant.
And it's always in the same, like, downward cadence where you're like, oh, well, well, what's the
God, you make it so obnoxious and I hate you.
This is how it sounds to me.
You take a good
Because
thing.
I don't
This is
hear,
why
I don't
hang
hear
out
what
with
you guys are like. Because you guys talk,
well,
like,
yeah, because
in like a
when we're in
hushed tone to each
the
other.
restaurant, that I couldn't fucking hear anyone.
I'm not
anyways,
even
and I
talking
was
about that. I'm
like,
talking about every time I've ever been around you
Probably.
two. You talk just to each other, so I can't understand what you're saying, but I can hear the cadence of how you're saying.
I see.
So to me, it just sounds like
Obnoxious.
Oh really? Oh really? Oh really? Right. Right.
Really?
Right. Sure.
And then
Hella.
I'll go, very clean.
Yeah. Yeah. And then a very loud. Very,
Very
clean.
Okay.
Right.
We don't say right that
You
much.
do.
This is confusing.
She says
I
right
feel
a
like
lot.
we don't.
She says like right, like that, like
She'll say right.
after
right.
everything you say. Like
She only does that around other people too, which is weird.
Either
One of
way,
the
I
words
hear
like
it
she'll doubt everything I
all
say
the
in her
time.
group.
She'll say right. No, like even like if you're saying like, and then he said like, oh what a bitch, and she's like, oh right, like she's like if you said something, like if you quoted something,
You just
that
make it
happened
sound so fucking pretentious
if
and
you
awful.
if you were explaining
I hate
something
you.
that happened in Sword Art Online to Hope, and like she was expressing her like, I can't believe that happened. She'd
Yeah.
say right,
Probably.
and she says it a lot. Like when you tell
Oh
a
my
story,
God.
she responds by saying it like that, and then you go, of course.
God, it's just so awful when you.
That's how you sound to
No.
me. That's how your voice sounds to me when you talk to Hope.
Don't make me hate myself. Don't ruin a good thing for me.
That's why I don't jump into your conversation. Because I'm like, they're doing their thing. They're over there going,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Really,
Really.
very clean.
Very clean. The fact that you don't acknowledge it is even funnier to me. Because I'm sure if I used those exact voices to anyone else, they'd be like, yeah, that's exactly what it sounds
God,
like.
no. I mean, I am aware to an extent that I don't quite talk the same.
You talk in like a very weird, hushed tone in a very specific cadence that you say
Just-
like every sentence.
Just
in the
usually
same cadence.
much less loud around up.
Yeah. And
Different attitude
yeah.
to an extent. I don't.
Yeah.
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 I'm getting into all that.
I feel like you're both somehow less obnoxious alone than you are with each other. Like, when I talk to either of you alone, it's less obnoxious
Well,
than
of
talking
course,
to both of
'cause-
you at once.
Because it's always different when you're hanging out with one person versus
Right.
multiple people.
Well, yeah, I guess I feel that way about everybody. I find
And
everyone
I feel like
less
we are
obnoxious
more
one-on-one.
obnoxious when it's the two of us hanging out with anyone else than we are when it's just the two of us.
I'm any situation with more than 2 people. I am just
Exactly. You
I'm
don't act
brain
the
dead.
same. And it's weird with Hope around because around our friends I'm always brain dead, and I'm always like retarded, and then she's there, and then it's like I'm different when she's there, and then it just becomes confusing for me, and then it's
Right.
just like it comes out weird.
Yeah. Yep. This is what we were talking about when Victor said about the Japan trip, like that it would be like weird.
The chemistry
if-
would be off.
Right.
I'm
And,
very
like,
careful about chemistry.
When we talked about that, like I completely understood what you meant, but a lot of our commenters didn't. Like,
Yeah.
this is what we mean. Like the way
Exactly.
that Victor acts around Hope is different from the way Victor acts around anyone else, and.
Which for me, that different is better.
Right. Victor likes
I
that
act
different more.
much better around Hope, and I feel much better about myself when I'm with her.
Right. Whereas, I can
I'm finally
deal
showing
with
down with this dude.
if it's just you and Hope and not anybody else. I can
Yeah.
deal with that.
Usually
you know?
better.
And Hope's great because she watches every anime.
Yes.
So no matter what, I have something to talk to Hope about.
Yeah.
Because she watches every anime, every new anime. She doesn't really do any backlogging, really. I've got the sense.
No.
How often does she actually watch anything that's not airing right now?
She will sometimes. Like she's watching Boogie Pop right now.
Oh yeah.
So she does get around to watching some older things, but just not as much because, she doesn't have time for that much shit. I know she's watching a lot less this season.
This season sucks, that's why.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I shouldn't say that. This season has a lot of mediocre shows that are okay.
Yes.
It doesn't have any standout, like, god tier
I
shows.
think Gangsta's pretty good.
Standout god tier shows?
Are you keeping up with Gangsta?
I watched the first 4.
Watch the rest of Gangsta. By the end of this, it's gonna be something pretty fucking good.
Except it's an ongoing manga. That's
That's the one thing that makes me wonder.
that
Where
it's
I'm like,
covered
I don't
like
know
2 volumes on.
how much of the manga it's gonna cover, if it's gonna wrap up neatly as an anime, because it feels more like an anime original story. Just the weird part that it's a manga. But it's pretty fucking good so far.
From what I've heard, it's very it's not very different from the manga at all.
Yeah, it's like panel by panel, because I had picked it up in the store and I was like, this is exactly like the manga.
Yeah, my friend Jimmy, also known as Nino on YouTube, is a very big fan of the manga and anime adaptation. But he said that he was telling me like if they made a season 2, it would be like right at the start of like the major arc that comes like next. So he's hoping they make a second season.
I hope they fucking do all of it, because it's pretty good.
But do you really think it's a god tier amazing show? It's basically like a
I don't know where
shonen anime.
Where it's
like,
going, It's not a.
It's like dudes with superpowers.
Been very emotional. It's been they're very well developed characters.
I mean, I don't disagree. I just think like when I think god tier, I think Shirobako from this year. Like, do you think it's gonna be Shirobako?
I don't know.
tier?
I don't know where it's gonna. I don't know. It's only been like 7 fucking episodes, so I'm not. I don't
thought
feel comfortable
Shirobako
making
was
that
god
call.
tier in 3 episodes.
But it's like, right now I feel like it has the potential to be a classic.
I don't know. For me, I feel like within 1 or 2 episodes of most shows, I can tell where about like the limit of how good or bad it will be.
Yeah.
And like Gangsta to me, like with episode 1, I was like, this is either going to be at worst a 6, at best an 8. Like it just didn't seem like it would get above that, And based on the first 4 episodes, I never felt like it was above an 8 out of 10, like at best. Nothing this
latest
season
episode
felt
was
like an
pretty
8 to
fucking
me. Everything's
cool.
felt like a 7. Because like Hibike Euphonium was a solid 8 out of 10 to me.
Yeah.
And like that's like the best thing of the year so far, other than Shirobako. And like to me, all the new anime, none of it excited me as much as Hibike Euphonium did within 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And Hibike Euphonium was like, it's funny because everyone loved that show and I loved it, but for me it was kind of a letdown because everyone else was keeping up with it and I wasn't. And people were talking so highly of it that I expected more.
Yeah.
You know? Because I wrote about Hibike Euphonium after the first 2 episodes, and I predicted the whole fucking plot.
Yeah.
Like, everything I talked about in those first 2 episodes, in that review of the first 2 episodes, was exactly what the show was about. I mean, there was some unexpected elements, like the whole relationship between the 2 main girls. How much of that show did you watch?
I didn't watch shit. I watched 2 episodes, I
Right.
think.
But, like, I basically predicted, like, what the plot was going to be, and it didn't really go very far beyond that, you know, other than, like, the interesting relationships between the characters. And so, like, the whole show, people kept telling me, like, oh my god, it's such a masterpiece, just like you said it was going to be. And I was like, yeah, but nothing that happened was really any different from what I thought from episode 2. Like, I was hoping it would go beyond what I talked about and have new intriguing things, and that, like, you know, the relationships would be even more fleshed out than they were. And some of the stuff that the show spent time on instead of the stuff I wanted it to was not that interesting, you know? So it was the kind of thing where I was like, yeah, it was a very solid show, but, like, ultimately it was like an 8 out of 10, you know?
Yeah.
It didn't, like, leave a big mark on me the way, you know, other shows like it would have. And so when a whole season came out and nothing impressed me as much as Hibike Euphonium, I was like, this is not a good sign, you know?
Yeah. I was not feeling most of the episode 1s.
Yeah. But,
Or even the cover art of most shit. I was like, eh.
cover art's never something to go on, in my opinion. I mean, I do love the video judging anime by its cover where these people, like, analyzed different covers and, like, tried to figure out how much you can predict about, like, an anime's quality. It was a clever video, but I would only do that if I could only watch one show a season and I couldn't test everything.
Yeah.
Because to me, I can easily watch the first episode of everything in a season and then decide from there. You know, it's pretty easy to tell when you start up fucking Sky Wizards Academy within, like, a minute that it's fucking dumb. You know, like, the cover art makes you think, this looks really dumb. And then you watch the first minute and you go, okay, confirmed. This is really dumb. And then you stop. But, like one of those shows I probably would not have given the time of day just on the picture was Jokimichi no Dandelion. One of the shows that airs this season. Where, like, the picture's just a bunch of anime characters, like, they're there, you know?
Yeah.
But then you watch the show and it's like 9 siblings and they're all the king. And they're competing to see who's gonna be king while doing school life, and they all have superpowers. And it's like, what the fuck? This is madness. And, like, it's a pretty okay show, but, like, you know, based on the image, I would have been like, who the fuck cares, you know? But based on the first episode, I was like, yeah, maybe I'll give this a shot. Of course. Oh no! Oh god, it's Fate Zero all over again.
Yeah.
Oh, the dick worms. The dick worms.
Wow. How'd you like that shit?
The dick worms.
Oh yeah.
The dick worms. What the fuck were we talking
Get
about?
lantern oil. Why?
Current season anime. It's
Something like
I'm not caught up on it.
Scoopity.
I pretty fucking quickly went, oh right, I don't care about following current anime. I'm gonna go watch all of Nanoha, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
For like the past month. And after I'm done with Nanoha, I'm probably gonna start some other shit.
The shit.
There's not a lot from next season that I'm excited about either. Like, it doesn't look that, like, there's, I think probably the thing I'm the most excited about is season 2 of Gochiusa, and I hope One Punch Man's good.
One Punch Man. That's supposed to be a good thing, right?
Yeah, the manga's extremely popular.
Yeah.
It's like it's a parody of shonen action stuff.
I think Hope reads that.
Everybody reads that if they read manga. But, yeah, and the anime is by Madhouse, so...
Oh, shit.
Expectations are high.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Albeit Madhouse is currently doing Overlord, which looks like garbage and is boring, so...
Maybe that's the B team.
That's true, they probably do a bunch of teams. I don't know, did you watch any of Overlord?
I watched the first episode and was just like, okay. And then you told me it was awful, so I was like, oh, never mind.
I just didn't make it through episode 2 because it was boring as shit. people have tried to
shit.
like get me to watch it
What's
again. 'Cause
this?
they're like, oh, it's just like Log Horizon, and I'm like, except Log Horizon, I was really interested by episode 2.
Yeah.
That's it for this episode of Digi Bros.
Wow.
I'll continue the thought I was about to have in the next one.